Greg, I want to talk to you about the first situation that's happening in the industry right now, and it created a big debate, which is Jeff Nippard versus Big Mike Van Wyck. I don't know either one of them personally. I know all of them, of course. They both, pretty popular guys. Jeff is a big influencer, a bro scientist. Mike Van Wyck is also a public figure, and they're both respected, right? But now they got into altercation, and I wanna ask you what you know about the situation and how you feel about the situation.
I don't know much. I did see the video, okay? And it doesn't take a genius. I mean, you don't have to even know the guys, even if they were just A and B. The big guy Mike Van Wyck, he should know better than to put his hands on somebody. Listen, if you go and Google me, there's articles about me, the most hated man and this and other thing. If I beat up everybody or went after everybody in the industry, I'd be a lonely man. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You have to be smart. And it makes bodybuilders look like idiots. You know what I'm saying? It makes everybody look like the first thing you saw or read about when you see articles about that on the internet is, look at this guy, too much steroids, look at juice head, juice head's going, especially one's a juice head and the other's a natural bodybuilder, right?
Jeff being the natural, right? Is that what you're saying?
Jeff is the natural. The smaller guy is the natural guy. The big guy is juiced up, So what happens is, not only does it make, the sport look like it's a bunch of juice heads like losing their temper, but the other thing is, you just got to know better than put your hands on people today. You can't do that. I mean, and just because of stupid shit, like you said this on the internet, dude, thicken your skin. My girlfriend talks shit about me when we have sex just because she knows how much it turns me on. You understand what I'm saying? So again, you can't, she'll call me a loser, tell me what a piece of shit I am, and then I actually get like I orgasm from that.
Wow, Greg. TMI.
You got to be able to listen. If you're in this industry, there's not a bodybuilder. Look, you got Michael Hearn doing your show. How many people talk shit about him? They're experts. Oh, no, Michael Hearn.
Mike loves it. Mike loves it.
Yeah, I know he loves it, but I'm saying, because they're talking about you. When they stop talking about you, you know what I mean?
Greg, let's put some context into it, right? So Jeff Nippard is an influencer. He makes videos, right? For a living, right? So from what I understand, and I don't know if it's actually what transpired for it to become physical, but what I understand is Jeff made a video. He took one of Mike's videos, right? That was not related to Jeff in any way. The video that Mike made was basically saying that these bro scientist guys or whatever, these guys who are talking about science behind lifts or bodybuilding, they're never really that great. And then Jeff took that video and made a video basically, I guess, replying to it indirectly by saying, hey, look at me, I'm the natural guy and I achieved greatness based on my he's 5'5", whatever he achieved in that frame, he said it was great. So he didn't actually, from what I understand, he didn't diss Mike necessarily. And then what Jeff is claiming is that when they go to the same gym in California, right? So they ran into each other in the gym and Mike allegedly assaulted him. But do you think something else actually happened? Do you think that Mike reacted like this over this video? Do you think there was some kind of history between them that actually exploded, you know what I mean, when they saw each other? Like, I don't think it's just a video, right?
Well, I think what it could be is I think it could be a bunch of different things. I think if you train in the same gym, let's say Mike Van Wyck, the big guy for you guys watching this, he might have his friends, look, there's that asshole that's talking on the internet about you. You know what I mean? Yeah, look at him, he's bro. And then the little guy comes around, okay, and he's almost like a gnat. You understand what I mean, Jeff? He's maybe like, yo, what's up? You understand, like a little fly that you get, So he might have, we don't know. I don't know this for sure, but I did see where it looked like the little guy came over, started walking towards Jeff, and then Jeff came over to him like that. So, you're also, the little gnat, so to speak, is like, buzzing around, and it could have escalated from there. Could have escalated from both sides of, Jeff's friends in the gym, in the same gym. That's the real bad ingredient in this whole drama. It's they're in the same gym. So now you got the little guys going up, natural guy. Jeff, you got his friends. Yo, look at Van Wyck. He keeps looking over here. Look at, and then you got Van Wyck's. Look at that little motherfucker. Okay, I'm tired of them natural bodybuilders talking. So that it could be that. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, gyms, people love that gym. But remember something, the key that nobody's talking about in here. It was filmed. It was filmed. It wasn't.
It was filmed by allegedly by Jeff's video operator who was filming him in the gym. So that's who.
But I feel like that whole thing might have been like, like, hey, watch this, watch this, gonna film. He's gonna come over to me. Yo, what's up, bro? What's up?
Oh, you're saying Jeff instigated him? You think possibly?
It might have been like that. I'm gonna go up to him. Watch. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna approach that big juice head in the gym and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? So it's too ironic that the whole thing just happened to be on tape. You understand? I mean, it wasn't like Jeff was over there working out, like, oh, I'm doing my biceps over here, and the big guy came over, hey, Joe Montanazzi, smacking the head. It wasn't like that. You saw them walk up to each other. So it was almost like somebody was Jeff's people were videotaping that. But it was like it was set up, like it was ready. I'm not saying it was fake. I'm saying he knew he was going. You're going into, watch, I'm going to open up the lion's cage and I'm going to walk in. Let's see what happens. So Jeff might have bit off more than he can chew, but at the same time, Mike fell for it. Shouldn't have done anything. You see it, cameras going, just say, hey, dude, Mr. Natural, you're talking all this. Why don't you come over here with me? Get on the bench. Let's do some benching together. You know what I mean? Right. Or whatever. But the camera was going the whole time and caught the whole thing. That makes things a little suspect. You understand? That I'm not saying it was set up. So no, please.
So since the video came out, right? It's been a let's say a week, right? And the industry kind of split up, right? So when the video first came out, there was an overwhelming amount of people in the comments, especially, just bashing Mike and kind of standing up for Jeff, right? Immediately. Right. Then a couple of days later, a story broke that, Jeff posted a picture from the hospital. He's getting his neck examined or something like that. He's explaining what happened in the gym, basically putting the blame on Mike and saying that, hey, he should be kicked out of the gym. I'm paraphrasing, you know what I mean? And then there was another article that came out saying that Mike was actually being charged for this incident, right? And then, literally the next day, so many people in the industry, some big names that are friends of Mike, just started defending him and saying, hey, like, what is happening here? Like, this is this new snowflake generation of people, alluding to Jeff, basically, like, he's kind of like a bitch, you know what I mean? Like, he's basically talking shit online, but then when he sees the guy in person, he's gonna, like, report him or whatever, right? So we're getting these two different types of people, right? One is on Jeff's side saying, hey, like, this guy's a bully. And the other side is saying, no, Jeff is an instigator here, and now he finally met his match, right? So what do you think about this division?
I think there's a lot of jealous people in this world who don't like the fact that both of these guys are I guess are influencers. I don't really follow that stuff, but, most of these, these guys are two big guys online, right? There's a lot of guys who don't like the whole idea of the big juice head guy, you know what I mean? Because he's juiced up. I'm natural, so I identify with Jeff, you know what I mean? So I think there's a little bit of that. I think it's a David and Goliath thing. I think some people think that. But, again, the one thing I don't like is, listen, we're all bodybuilders. We all work out, right? And we're in the gym. Sometimes the testosterone is flowing. Even when you're a natural, your own natural testosterone flowing. There's fights in the gym all the time. I've owned gyms. There's guys. Victor will tell you. Michael Hearn. There's many times there's been fights in the gym. Nobody goes unless your fucking head is broken and there's like your brain's hanging out. Nobody's gonna go to the doctor and go get an MRI and all that. You're overacting with that. That's just my opinion. He's overacting. Okay, you knew what you were doing. Again, it's a gym. Gyms breed fights. Take your little smackdown. Take the smackdown that you got. You walked up to him. You walked in. You had your little camera, so you knew what was going on. You knew there was a potential for you to get smacked in the face because the camera was running. Guys, the camera was running. That's a key factor in this whole thing. If I was Van Wyck's lawyer, I'd be like, well, you filmed the whole thing. Maybe you knew that this was going to happen. Maybe you wanted this to happen. Then you go to the ambulance. Then you go to, the emergency room and you really get an MRI on what? Were you beat up that bad? No. Take your.
He claimed that he got he got jabbed in the neck or something, like in the throat, neck, whatever it was. That's what he was saying.
Even of what I saw, there was not even a scratch. Like there was nothing. It wasn't like Jesus Christ. Look, he bore. Did he get stitches? No. You know what I mean? Look, I think it was almost like when you get in a car accident, you go and get a whiplash test. You know what I mean? You get to, because
Right.
you know you're kind of hoping maybe I can sue. Maybe
No,
I can,
Jeff clearly wanted some kind of sympathy, right? I mean, whether he's right or wrong, I'm saying he wanted support from the people online.
It's a gym. Guys getting fights.
You've witnessed a lot of fights in a gym. You've witnessed.
I've been in a few because I've had gyms in bad neighborhoods and stuff. But you wipe yourself off, and the next minute you guys the next day they should have been training together. That's what should have really happened. They should have been like, "Yo, dude, what's up, bro? My bad. You caught me at a time. You shouldn't have walked up with that film. With the camera going. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have walked up to you. And you got, like I said, you got the little flies running around. Hey, Jeff, look at him. There he is. Look at a big Jew said. Look at him with his friend. And then you got Mike's friend, Joe, that little natural. You get a bit back and forth, back and forth. And then they walk up. They both walked up together. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the key. I don't want to go off, but I'll give you a quick. Bob Bonham once, he owned Strong Shape Gym, had his parking lot. His parking lot was for his gym. Somebody parked in his parking lot to go to, there was a carnival down the street. Bob went outside. There were signs all over. Do not park in this. It's for the gym members only. Bob went outside, got in a confrontation with the guy. The guy was a biker. Bob jumped on, they started.
Bob who? Bob Chicarilla?
Bob Bonham.
Okay.
Right, from Strong Shapey. Really fast. I'm getting to something. Bob they're getting a big, Bob, the signs say, do not park here. Your car will be towed, right? They get in a big fight. Bob gets on top of him, beats the shit out of the guy. Cops come. They both get taken away. They both press charges on each other, right? The judge says to the Bob, you own the gym. Says you have signs up that say no parking or car will be towed, right? And Bob says, yes, that's yes. And he looks at the other guy and he says, you saw the signs, right? No parking. The owner comes out and tells you can't park here, right? And the guy says, yes. He goes, well, you know what? I'm going to put you both in jail. Okay. Either you both drop the charges or you both go to jail, because Bob, you should have just said, hey, no parking, walk inside, call the tow truck and had him towed. But you two idiots both get in, Bob's my friend, God rest his soul. I love him. But I'm saying, Bob said to me, he learned a lesson. You two guys went together, started this fight when you knew, the same thing with these guys. You cannot go in a gym and just start a fight. If you do, you wipe yourself off, say, hey, dude, what the fuck? All right,
Sure. I agree with you 100%.
The gym is loaded with gladiators. We're all gladiators. That's what we're doing in the gym,
Speaking of gladiators, do you think immediately, because of the size difference between Mike, who's, I don't know how tall he is, but he looks way bigger than, obviously, Jeff Nippard. He looks significantly bigger in the video, right? Do you think just because of that fact, immediately he looks like a bully in this situation?
I think that he looks like, of course, the size of the guy, Mike, makes him look like, that's not fair. So I think a lot of people online quickly go against him, David and Goliath. You understand?
Right, exactly.
But the thing is, that's why the little guy, Jeff, had the camera going the whole time and said, yo, turn off the camera. Let me just go talk to Van Wyck for a second. He didn't do that. He walked over and the camera was going and filmed both of them. It wasn't like Van Wyck ran up to him. They were both walking.
I get it. You feel like he was instigated. I understand what you're saying. You feel like Mike Van Wyck was potentially, allegedly, possibly instigated to get into the situation. And he reacted.
What we're seeing too is the Van Wyck, all he did was grab him and shove him first. I think supposedly the kid got up and then they went, he hit him again or something like that.
I think that's what he said, yes.
Right. Now, I'm not sure about that, but I do know just that shove, you're not supposed to put your hands on anybody. We all know that. Again, what's in gyms? Alpha males, right? That's why we're there. We're there to work out. Both of them are bodybuilders. Whether you're natural or whether you're, a Jew said, it doesn't matter. You're in there to, because you're mentally, you're a gladiator. That's what you're doing. Both guys compete. Both guys are into getting jacked. And, all that natural versus, dude, I was once a natural bodybuilder. That's a choice. You don't shove that up people's ass. I don't, I never did, and I don't think anybody should. You know what I mean?
But I think the debate, I think the debate right now is becomes interesting because people that are defending Mike, right? What they saying is basically, what they saying in his defense is like, if you're gonna talk shit online, basically be ready to face that person face to face. That's what they are saying right now. And how do you feel about that? Do you think that there's a point there, or do you think it's do you agree with any of that type of stuff?
No, I don't agree. Listen, if you talk online, yeah, you got to face the music, but that doesn't give the other guy a clear road to just start punching in the face or whatever. You know what I mean? It depends. If you approach the guy and you start trouble with him, go outside and you know what? Agree to it. Hey, yo, you talk about me. You want to do something about it? We step outside like two men and we do it. Where we both agree to it. If Jeff would have said,
you got to agree to a fight. Yeah, if there's a fight, you got to agree, both parties.
But you can't just beat up everybody. Black, you know as well as I'm sure there's people who don't like Generation Iron for some reason. Do you want to fight everyone? You can't do that. You'd be fighting everybody. I'm sure that the guy Mike, the big guy Mike Van Wyck, I'm sure he's not. There's other people who've possibly talked shit about him. Again, look at me. I get people, if I fought everybody, I'd be the only person at the Arnold Expo. You know what I mean? If I beat up everybody.
Do you know Big Mike or Jeff in person? Have you ever met him?
No, I may have met Van Wyck. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm really bad with that. You know what I'm saying? I might have. I met a lot of guys. The other kid, I don't think I've ever met, but I know the situation. I've owned gyms. Victor will tell. I owned 3 gyms in my lifetime. And there's always been fights that broke out over stupid little things. But you know what? After the fight, the guys usually go, dude, what's going on, Rob? Come on. All right, we're buddies. And then you want to become friends.
100%. I think if the charges were in fact pressed against Mike, I think they should be dropped by my personal opinion, by Jeff, and then they should have their conversation and work it out. And Mike should be, come back to the gym, and they should just resolve. And this should be just a learning experience. You know what I mean? For everybody. You know what I mean?
Right. Listen, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I said from the very beginning. This should never have gone to any kind of law enforcement or cops. And come on, Jeff, you weren't hurt that bad that you had to go to, first of all, emergency rooms for people who are in bad shape. You know what I mean?
We don't know we don't know, but they should just become friends.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know to what extent his injuries were, but of what I've heard from people, he had a little scratch and he was fine. I'm just saying, I think a lot of this is for hits. Now, all of a sudden, look, we're talking about it right here. Yeah,
it's a big deal. Like this.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
You have to understand, this story is not just in the fitness media. This one to TMZ. This one to Daily Star. It's on major platforms. The situation here, right?
Because you got the perfect scenario: a natural small guy against a juice-up gladiator, and it looks David and Goliath. That's what we got: David versus Goliath. The big guy against the small, and the big guy instigated. You can't necessarily say it. I do think that Mike should not have put his hands on, but the little guy came over to him. Should just have ignored him. You know what I'm saying? If you walk in the lion's den, and that lion attacks you, you should not have walked into the lion's cage. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I feel. That doesn't mean Van Wyck had the right to put his hands on him. I'm sure he regrets that now. Or he should have said, listen, if we have a problem, let's go outside the door and we settle it. You know what I'm saying?